buses. We didn't fly anywhere. It was called the bus league. We referred to it as the No Sunshine League because you get on the bus, you drive to Binghamton, you get off the bus, you play the hockey game, get on the bus, drive up to Lewiston, Maine, play the hockey game, get off the bus. You know, and that was the circuit. You just went around and around and around. Well, one night we were on this big circuit. We finally had a night off in Syracuse. And it was kind of like, you know, we're young kids. We're 20 years old. Finally get a night off. We're spending the night. We're playing the Syracuse Blazers that night. And then we get to spend the night there and then get off and head off to Utica, New York. So while we're in Syracuse, while we were up in Lewiston, Maine, we're taking a trip down through Cape Cod and heading back this way. There was a strip mall up in Lewiston, Cape Cod or Lewiston, Maine, and it was called the Dexter Shoes strip mall. And you know, back then it was a novel thing. Strip mall is a big thing, and so we used to go in there and we'd load up on everybody get shoes because they were real cheap. I mean, we didn't get paid much money back then, and they were cheap, but they were also unique because nobody in Johnstown would have these shoes. You know, it was kind of like who would ever go in Cape Cod and buy shoes that come back to Johnstown? So, you know, back then in the 70s where you had the bell bottoms, you know, and the platform shoes and, you know, the big collars and everything. So I got this really cool pair of powder blue shoes that had platform heels, the big heels and big soles. I'm thinking, you know, I'm a dude. You know, nobody's got these things. He said, I'm gonna bring these back to Johnstown. Would be the coolest dude in town. Well, we stopped in Syracuse, played a game. Syracuse was a tough team. Every game we played was always penalty minute filled, fights galore, and they hated us. They really hated Dave Killer Hanson there. And so we played the game. We lost, big brawl. But after the game, a bunch of us went out to the bar. In the bar, I didn't think we were getting too rowdy, too loud, but the owner did. Called the cops. As soon as I come out of the bar, the cop slapped the handcuffs on me. He says, "You're going to jail." I says, "For what?" He says, "You don't ask any questions, you're going to jail." So here I am, my nice powder blue shoes with my white soles, really sharp looking dude, cuffed in the back of the car, heading off to jail. Well, I've never been to jail before, and I've never been to jail since, and I never hope I ever go to jail because it's not a fun place to be. But they throw me in jail overnight. Needless to say, and I'll say there that I probably had one or two more beers than I should have had. But I'm there trying to sleep it off, and then the next morning they throw me in this room with a bunch of other guys that tried to sleep it off, waiting to go see the judge. So you know, I'm kind of hungover, hanging in there, hanging down, and really kind of smelly in there, and I don't want to look around because a lot of these guys look pretty shady. So I'm looking inside, I'm not looking around, but I'm looking around down at the floor. As I go around, I see there's about 3 other guys with the same pairs of shoes on as that guy. And then all of a sudden the guy next to me bends over and decides to throw up all over my brand new pair of shoes. So needless to say, you know, it was my turn to get before the judge, and the judge says, "I know who you are, Dave." He says, "You know, I was at the game last night." And he says, "Next time you're in town, just stay out of the bars," he says, "or else I won't let you out." Needless to say, when I got on the bus with my brand new powder shoes with the guy's stuff all over them next to me, I took them off and I threw them out of the bus and went to Syracuse. And moved on to the next town. So, you know, that was kind of life in the minor leagues. But one of the nice things that happened while I was there, obviously, was the filming of Slapshot. Now, Slapshot, for those that have seen it, you know, it pretty much is more fact than fiction. It's the life of minor league hockey, and it was a gal that wrote the script, a gal named Nancy Dowd. She was the sister of one of the brothers that I was playing for at the time, and she wrote the script about the team, the Johnstown Jets. It was called the Charlestown Chiefs in the movie. There was 3 brothers that played for us called the Carlson brothers, big tough guys, like I said, black rimmed glasses, long hair. I mean, they literally wore black rimmed safety glasses when they played, and then they referred to me as Killer, so it was Dave Killer Hanson, and so forth and so on. So when they decided to make the movie and casted Paul Newman, we were in the playoffs, and I'm getting ready for a playoff game. Well, for the traditional game day tradition for a player or thing that a player does is he goes to the rink, gets his, back then let's get your sticks ready, your skates ready. You could go out skate for a couple minutes if you wanted to, but then you had your pregame meal around noon. You're in bed by 1 o'clock, take a couple hour nap up by 4, get dressed and head to the rink. So that was, we had a game that night. I was following my routine, and while I was in bed sleeping, and there's a pounding on my door. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, come on. It's my nap, and the pounding's going on, so I'm all aggravated. I get out of bed, and I open the door, and I go, what? And there's Paul Newman standing right below me going, hey, Dave, hi, I'm Paul Newman. And I'm standing there, nothing but my BVDs and my dirty sweat socks going, oh yeah, you are Paul Newman. He says, oh Dave, he says, obviously I'm disturbing you. I said, no, it's alright. You're Paul Newman. It's okay. He said, well, I got some guys here, we just want to see what an apartment of a hockey player looks like, and you mind if we come on in and look around, and so they can take some pictures and stuff? I said, no. I said, come on in, Paul. He says, I'm going to go back to bed, so you're welcome to just roam around. And Paul says, good. He says, well, I'd like to go watch the race on TV. It's on right now. Do you mind? I said, no, not at all. He says, there's beer in the fridge. He says, oh, great, I'll go grab a beer. So he grabs a beer, sits down, watches TV. The